property tour, shall we? Brian Lebo here, and today we are out in Lake Las Vegas. Now, Lake Las Vegas over the years has turned into basically a very upscale, luxurious retirement community for very wealthy individuals. And this is one of the most really unique and beautiful neighborhoods. It's much smaller. It's a very tight-knit community. And this home in particular has been completely remodeled and is going to feature one of the most beautiful interiors that we've ever showcased on the channel. So I'm really excited to show you what these owners have reimagined this home into. So first off, let's talk about this courtyard area. Now, this home was built 20 years ago by Centex Home, which was then bought out in 2009 by Pulte Homes. And this courtyard is great in Las Vegas because we do get some wind. And because this courtyard entry is fully enclosed, we can obstruct all wind from being in this area. And you're gonna notice that we have points of entry from multiple areas within inside the domicile. So we have an access door there, we have double French doors there, and of course we have the front door. So let's step inside and let's see what's going on inside the dwelling. So as we go through the dramatic front door, we get to this foyer area, which is really beautiful, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But like we normally do, we're gonna start off in the kitchen and we're gonna talk about the flooring along the way. So the entire main floor of this property consists of what's really popular, that light French oak engineered hardwood flooring. Again, really popular, very, very contemporary. But check out this kitchen. This is one of the most gorgeous and tasteful kitchens we've ever seen. So let's start unpacking some of this. Now, we have two islands. We're gonna get to this one in a moment. This is kind of more of the wet bar island, the entertaining island, and this is the more functional island. So like we're used to seeing in modern remodels, we always have the obligatory waterfall return. Here we have something very, very different. So instead of extending the counter surface into a waterfall return, here it's beset in this beautiful wood veneer. I think it's walnut, I'm not sure, but the countertop ends and turns into this beautiful wood veneer, and we have bar stool seating on the end. So let's check this out a little bit more as we come down. Now the counter surface is just, it's a work of art. You can see it over the ventilation hood in the background, but this counter surface is actually made out of an entire slab of porcelain. So very, very, very elegant and just gives it such a unique look to it. On the counter surface, I love this feature. So here we have pop-up electrical outlets all throughout the entire area. Really functional, but really elegant to keep that not from being exposed. Now, you're gonna notice we have two sinks just on this island. There's sinks everywhere in this house. But here we have our prep sink, our kosher sink, whichever way you want to look at it. Beautiful brass hardware, which you're going to see accents everywhere through this property. Now, let's come down a little bit farther and we'll talk about a little bit more of what's going on. So over here, we have our little breakfast nook area. We do have a French door that gives us ingress and egress to the backyard. Beautiful windows. There's an abundance of natural light given by all the windows you're going to see in this property. Now, where do we even begin? Where do we unpack? So first off, let's talk about some of the cabinetry back here, and then we're gonna jump back to the island. So you're gonna notice there's a juxtaposition here. So we have our black cabinetry, which is composed of a satin finish, so really good for not leaving fingerprints, and we have the brass accents. But then you're gonna see throughout, it's kind of interspersed with this really high gloss, but linen looking cabinetry. If you look close, there's a little bit of a print of linen. So it looks beautiful and elegant from a distance, and then up close, there's even more to break down. We have our gray quartz counter surface on the back area, and you're gonna see this throughout the entire home. And then of course, you can see we've got more natural light everywhere. Things get a little bit interesting here. Never seen this done before. I'm assuming it's waterproof, but instead of having our mosaic tile backsplash or extending the counter surface, here we have a luxury wallpaper. You're gonna see it throughout, but we have a luxury wallpaper here as the backsplash, and then it transitions into this beautiful fluted wood that extends all the way to the ceiling, and then we have these floating shelves. Just beautiful, beautiful design element. Now coming back to the island, here's where it gets interesting. So over here on the left side of the island, we have a double induction burner. So you're gonna have a multitude of choices depending on your cooking style and what you're cooking. But this is a feature that I love. Because this island is so large, invariably you would have to have at least 2 slabs of porcelain in order to make this island. But that's also going to result in having kind of an unsightly seam. Hopefully you can book match it. Love the design element here. Rather than butting the joints of the 2 slabs together, they intersected it with that same wood that we saw at the very end of the island. So just a real rich, unique look, and it really breaks up some of the colder surfaces. This is cool. So here we have a farm style sink, but this one, the apron side of the sink is kind of like a natural aggregate stone. Just again, it breaks up the elegance with something a little bit more masculine, really, really cool. More of that beautiful brass hardware. And we even have a bottle washer. If you're into your craft cocktails, you can feel like a legitimate bartender. So just beautiful. Now let's jump back over to this side. So here we have our professional series 48-inch oven. And like I mentioned before, whether you want to just have a clean, simple cooking experience on the induction burners, or if you want to go a little more traditional or it requires higher heat, you can use the gas burners here on the cooktop. I know we got to get into it. I know, that's so difficult. But guys, be happy. We do have our pot filler. So we can all rejoice, take a deep breath. We do have our pot filler. We're okay. Above, we have the same 48-inch matching ventilation hood, and this has been sheathed in that same porcelain slab that we saw on the counter surface. But here, this really turns into the main highlight of the kitchen, because when you walk in, your sight line just draws your eye right to this. And the way that this extends to the ceiling just gives this kitchen just such an incredible design feature. And of course, you can see that used as the backsplash here for the stove. Really easy to clean, really functional. As we come down further, again, we have more of that granite counter surface, perfect symmetry like we saw on the other side. We just don't have the actual window leading to the side yard, but more pantry space. But now let's pivot over to this side. So coming over, you can see this entire bank of oh, Drew just caught me. Thank you, Drew. Come on, guys. I should slap myself for this one. You know what time it is. All right, so we're under 3 million. So the felonious rule that I made up, that really isn't a rule. We are under 3 million, which means it's okay that we just have 1 dishwasher. So we do have our Miele dishwasher, and this one, guys, has never even been used. You can see there's still all the product materials inside. So we only have 1, but it's a brand new one. So there you go. All right, back to where we started. So this entire bank of cabinetry is featured in that same high gloss sheen gray linen. So again, beautiful, beautiful contrast. Here we have our Bosch built-in microwave, and I love that we're seeing more of this. So below the microwave, we have the matching Bosch steam oven. So if you're into healthier ways of cooking, you can use the steam function for that. Same refrigerator I have at home. We have our Sub-Zero built-in refrigeration, so perfect there. We got to give it the sneak in. All right, there's our little sneak. Very nice. Coming down further, we have a little bit more pantry space, and then we have a really large wine refrigerator, so that'll take care of all of your alcoholic needs there. Now, let's get back to this island. So this is more the fun island. This is more of like your wet bar, I would say, as denoted by all the bar materials. So we have, again, that high gloss gray linen looking cabinetry. We do have our undermount sink, so it is a full proper wet bar area. And we have our bottle washer. Coming down, we have more refrigeration. Just a wonderful, wonderful space. We do have, like I said, ingress, egress directly from the kitchen out there, but let's come around this side a little bit and then let's talk about the family room. So first off, you can see over here on the return side of the wet bar island, we do have seating for 4, and this is a beautiful, beautiful sight line right here looking into the kitchen. And I love the fact that, you know, the kitchen is usually a congregating place. So here you can have some guests that are part of the conversation, but they're not actively in your way. You know, one issue with the 2 bar stool seating on the left side of the main kitchen island is that if you are actively cooking and you're having an event, you can't really sit there because you're obstructing the ability for the refrigerator to open. So it's really good if it's an informal situation, probably not the best for a party, and that's why this area comes really well into play. Now, let's talk about this family room. So first off, we have to talk about the ceiling. So here we have double height ceiling, and this is a single story home. So we have like 20-foot high ceilings. We have an abundance of recessed lighting all around the ceiling tray. So at night, this would be really dramatic. And then this wall over here is incredible. We have a French door that leads to the backyard. We have double French doors that lead right out to the backyard and the pool area. And you can see we just have a wall of glass. So this is great to get all the natural light that you would want to make this just very inviting. Beautiful, beautiful chandelier light fixture. And now let's talk about the media wall. So the main media wall that extends all the way to the ceiling is that same fluted wood that we saw as an accent wall in the kitchen. And then they use that same beautiful porcelain slab to create the mantle around the fireplace. And here, I believe we have a 72-inch touchstone electric fireplace. So just again, really rich, really regal. Love what they did with the niches over here to put art. Just really, really cool. All right, now we're gonna swing around. We're gonna go check out the dining room. But first we step into the foyer actually where we first started the inside of this tour. And this is the one area we're gonna see different flooring other than the bathrooms. So here they made this dramatic entry. And I gotta say, I love these ombre ottoman seating. I'm a simple creature. I just love it. But it perfectly matches with this checkered flooring. So here they went with a porcelain, I believe a 24-inch porcelain tile that's light gray, kind of white, like kind of like your Carrara marble, and then a more concrete gray marble look. But it's actually porcelain, so very easy to clean, not to worry. And it kind of breaks up these areas. So coming into this area, beautiful, beautiful formal dining room area. So obviously you can see we have a huge dining room table, beautiful chandeliers. Again, we have 9 windows over here, bringing more natural light, coffered ceiling, and even this wallpaper for this area is beautiful luxury wallpaper. It has kind of an iridescent gold sheen to it. So it really just gives a lot of character to this space. Now, let's come down this hallway. Let's check out some of the secondary bedrooms and see what's going on. Now over here on the left side, this is the courtyard. So a little bit farther right here, this French door leads into the courtyard. So anyone on this side of the property has instant access to the courtyard or access from the courtyard into the dwelling. So here we have double French doors that leads into this really beautiful secondary bedroom, and this is ensuite. So once again, we have a ceiling tray, tons of recessed lighting, beautiful luxury wallpaper, just a really gorgeous, gorgeous room. But let's check out this bathroom because again, the interior design on this property is just absolutely sensational. So starting off, let's talk about the vanity. So the vanity here is kind of, it almost perfectly matches. It's that same light French oak that we have on the engineered flooring, and it actually perfectly blends in. Very difficult to try to match 2 different textures. Same gray quartz counter surface, undermount sinks, stuff that we've seen a million times. Love the relocated hardware to the walls for the faucets, but we gotta talk about this accent wall. This could have been a disaster, a tacky disaster. And here they just nailed it. I love it. So here we have a crocodile print wallpaper in a cognac color. And the dye is perfect. It just really gives so much character to this space. I love it. We have a nice washlet toilet here, but let's step into the shower area. So we do have a door that articulates. So if you are a little bit more on the girthy side, you can have better ingress and egress. Love the tile. Here is more of like a rustic tile look. Really cool, gives a lot of character. We do have our shower head. And then the more controversial part is our floating tub. Guys, tell me what you think. Do you like having the bathtub in the shower? This floating bathtub is kind of cool because this actually does have a jacuzzi function. It's very subtle, but it is a jacuzzi function on the base. So really nice. And we have a nice little shower niche. Maybe my favorite part is this lighting fixture. Just gorgeous LED lighting with a brass veneer. Awesome. And then over here to the left, we do have a walk-in closet. So again, just a perfect guest bedroom. So let's come out of here. Let's walk down the hallway. Let's see what's going on at the end, which is actually here is the front of the house. So technically, If you wanted to, you could put a wall right behind the camera here, and this would be a dedicated space that can only be accessed from the courtyard. And the reason I say that is because this is designed to be an executive office. Few really cool things. So one, hopefully you can tell, but this is rounded. So it's kind of like a turret entry, but this whole area is on a beautiful radius and rounded, gorgeous light fixture. And again, if you work from home and if you needed people to come, they could come right in the courtyard, right into that door, into your office, and they never actually need to enter the rest of the dwelling. Over here, we have a really cool bar area. So we do have refrigeration, the same gray quartz counter surface, a 75-inch display. This is a perfect office. Over here, we even have a half bathroom. So in the half bathroom, we obviously have our toilet. We have this beautiful Japanese inspired luxury wallpaper, another walls of wallpaper. We have a French door, and we have this gorgeous floating vanity with this really unique and beautiful looking marble. So love what we're doing so far. All right, now that we've seen this wing of the house, now we're gonna swing on the other side of the house where the primary suite is, and something really incredible that they did an unbelievable job reimagining. So follow me around the house. Let's get to the other side. All right, so over here on the left-hand side, this is the back of the property, and this is where the primary suite is, which is where we're gonna finish up. In the meantime, we're gonna head down this direction, which is towards the front of the property, and see what's going on over there, because there's some really unique things. First, let's talk about this powder bathroom, because this is awesome. So this half bathroom is what your guests are most likely gonna be using. We have a beautiful drop-in vanity, has an embedded sink, really gorgeous, same brass accents, beautiful wallpaper, beautiful, elegant LED mirror, really cool. But let's check out this area first. So originally this floor plan had a detached casita. So the only way you could enter the casita was from the courtyard. And this was an office that was accessible in from like the main area where the family room was. They reimagined this into more of a separate dedicated apartment, and I love what they did. Again, we're out in Lake Las Vegas. If you've got company, invariably they're gonna wanna go to the Strip. The Strip can be a 45-minute drive from this area, and if you got friends that are partying, they're gonna be coming back probably pretty late. So this is really cool to let them have their own space, their own apartment. Maybe you have someone older living with you, or maybe you have someone younger living with you. This gives them their own little domicile within the property. So first through the double French doors, incredible. Beautiful light fixture. And how cool is this? You have your own little den family room area. So we have seating. Love this touchstone fireplace. So while this is an electric fireplace, this also has a beautiful use of the brass frame around it, very elegant, and we have a display and a beautiful veneer for the media wall. This is a really incredible place. Over here on this side, we have a little bit of a wet bar area. So we have an undermount sink, same quartz counter surface, and we have refrigeration and a little bit of shelving. So again, this is a perfect informal little family room retreat area. Over here on the left, we have the bathroom, which we'll see in a moment, but let's get down to the front of the house here. So here we have the sleeping quarters. So once again, we have luxury wallpaper, beautiful. We have a really unique, beautiful illumination. Behind the camera, we have a closet system with these gorgeous tinted doors. And then once again, here we have our double French doors that leads us right into the courtyard. So like I was mentioning, if you don't want people trucking through the main home, they can just come right into the courtyard, right in and right into bed. Really neat. Now let's check out that bathroom, because there's a little bit of cool stuff going on there. So as you dip into the right, we have a double drop-in vanity, really lovely, beautiful wallpaper. Opposing wallpaper that's an accent on this side, which also matches the hallway wallpaper. Nice washless toilet, and a really unique shower. So I love the singular pane, very modern, very clean, but the tile choice for the shower pan and the lower area is kind of unique. It almost looks like a large flake epoxy that you would see on a garage floor, but here it's really kind of a cool look. And then the upper area is almost mimicking the fluted wood veneer that we saw on the media wall, but here it's more of like a bleached color. It's really neat. And of course we have our shower niche, which matches the lower area. So What a really, really unique and cool shower. So let's come out of this apartment area. Let's check out the laundry room and let's check out the garage before we check out the primary suite. So over here on the left, here we have our laundry room area, really nice. So once again, undermount sink, quartz counter surface, all the cabinets are beautiful. We do have our washer dryer, and even these have been positioned on a pedestal. So it's a little bit of elevated height, a little bit easier for you to use. Now behind this door, this is our 2-bay garage. Garage is perfect, epoxy floor, water softener system, pretty much everything that you would expect and want out of a garage. But now let's finish up in the primary suite, because some of the things that they did here, I've actually never seen this done, and I love this idea, and definitely this idea needs to be stolen in my opinion. So coming into the family room, beautiful, tons of natural light, and we're gonna start off over here in the morning bar area. So once again, that light gray linen, high sheen cabinetry, refrigeration, we have our sink, we even have a bottle washer. So, you know, if you like to wake up with a glass of whiskey, there you go, get it started. But perfect morning bar. Probably throw the espresso maker over here and get it started. Really neat. Love the fact that over here we have symmetry. So while we don't have refrigeration in the sink, we have pretty much the same length, and it maintains that symmetry. We have an actual gas touch-tone fireplace here, beautiful wallpaper, and we have the display. All right, talking about the display, that leads me to this conversation. So while Drew stays there, I'm gonna come over here. So I'm not a huge fan of massive primary suite bedrooms. I don't know how much room you need to be able to sleep. Sometimes the room is so large that you have to create a retreat area just to utilize the space. Sometimes the homes are just so big, you gotta just do something with all that square footage. But to me, a lot of times it's unnecessary, and having the bed 35 feet away from the television, it just doesn't even make much sense to me whatsoever. This is perfect, and I love what they did. So from the headboard and where your pillows are to the display is a perfect distance to be able to see the television, not feel cramped. We still have like 12-foot high ceilings in here, but look what they did. They created this wall behind the headboard to, one, create this beautiful accent, this floating accent wall, but come behind here and see what they did. I think this is so pragmatic. I absolutely love it. So when you come behind the bed, now you have this absolutely gorgeous closet system. So you can put your favorite clothing, your most used clothing, however you choose to accomplish that feat. And then over here, we have that same gray quartz counter surface, the same linen cabinetries, and this becomes your makeup counter. But ladies, fellas, all of this cabinetry here, it just creates storage. So this becomes such a more functional use of this space. I've actually never seen anyone utilize it quite this way. And I would encourage people to consider this in the future rather than just have one big box with a bunch of wasted space between the bed and the television. This I thought was a brilliant idea. All right, now we're in the bathroom. So we do have a modern contemporary barn door for a little bit of sound and light isolation. And this is freaking awesome. Never seen this one either. Pretty cool. So here we have our water closet and we have our Japanese inspired washlet toilet, but check out the toilet itself. They actually custom painted the toilet seat lid this kind of brassy rose gold that matches all the other accents. And I just thought it was just a really tasteful, you could go way over the top, but this was beautiful. Again, it's all those little accents that adds up to an incredible experience. Now over here on the right side, here we have one of the two closets in this space. All right, let's come down a little bit farther. We do have a little bit of a different flooring here. So now we go to a large format, 24 by 48 inch, a little bit darker, a little bit moodier, and there's something that ties in here in a moment. But first, let's talk about this area. So here we have a massive bathtub. This one I can fit in. I can sprawl out. This one's cool. We've seen this more in Blue Heron. I don't know how much this one was. I do know the Blue Heron bathtub is $30,000, but it's this beautiful matte egg-looking shaped floating tub, and I absolutely love it. We have the floating brass hardware, this gorgeous, gorgeous light fixture above it. We even have a display so you can chill in the bathtub and watch TV, enjoy your bubbles and champagne. Really, really cool. Opposing it on this side, this reminds me of Jason's Chanel store closet. So here, where this would be the makeup vanity, we already discussed that it's relocated behind the headboard area. So this is kind of like the Chanel, right? High gloss white contrast with high black contrast. We do have an embedded pivot style sink configuration, and I love this hardware. So the brass hardware, really modern, really elegant, and even these mirrors, you wouldn't notice until you become off access. The actual perimeter edge of these mirrors are LED illuminated. Typically the illumination's either in a strip in the mirror or behind it. This I thought was a little bit more elegant execution. Love that. So check out this shower, very, very unique. Obviously you just walk right into the shower. Really, really cool. So we do have our body washers, we do have our shower head, we do have our handheld, but check out this tile. I wish I knew exactly which way this came. I think this was custom cut. So while we have the prototypical concrete gray large format tile, blah, 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 we've seen that a million times. Here, I love what they did. So here, embedded in every tile as these accents are these sliver cuts of brass. So it just gives it just a little panache to make it just stand out and not just look like you're in a concrete pit over here. Really, really cool. We have a more dramatic accent area here, our seating ledge, which is black quartz, and we have a beautiful shower niche area with this. It's actually a glass with gold foil veneer behind it. Really, 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 really neat. And then over here, we have our second closet area. All right, guys, we have now seen the entire inside of this property. Let's go outside. Let's check out the outdoor kitchen. Let's check out the pool, and let's wrap this up. All right, guys, now let's check out the backyard. So obviously behind me, we have the family room area, and then we step into this awesome backyard. So above us, we have an embedded patio cover. So it's like, I don't even know, 16 feet high over here, 14 feet over there. Now, the entire backyard has been completely remodeled, reimagined. We've got this beautiful natural stone surrounding the entire pool area. And I swear to you, I am so stupid. For the first hour that we were in the property, I swear to you, I would look outside and I thought this was a designer rug till we walked out here and I realized that this is actually a designer tile. So this whole area is perfect, very resilient, perfect tile. We have a little dining al fresco area over here. Speaking of dining, let's come over here and check out a little bit more. So here we are on the side of the house. One cool thing is we've got a little putting green over here. So if you like your golf, you can work on your short game. Obviously, you have a dining table. So when the weather's nice, have some drinks, hang out, talk to the chef. And let's check out this outdoor kitchen area. So we have storage, we have our sink area over here, we have a really large barbecue grill, gas grill here, and we even have a pizza oven. So really, really cool, right off the kitchen, makes a lot of sense. Now, little artificial turf. We step up into this area and I love it. So this area is perfect overlooking the pool. We've got the golf course behind us, but what's really neat is while we do have the golf course behind us, we've got trees and foliage. We have absolute privacy. There's no cart path coming right up against us. So it's just an incredible, incredible outdoor space and kind of expands the backyard a lot. So let's step down from here. We have more artificial turf, so perfect for the fur babies to do their business. And then we come over to this area. So nice, we have a couple chaise lounges, we have that stone that I was telling you about, and we have this completely remodeled pool, and I love what they did with this. So we're gonna get into it a little bit more. So refinished, you have your normal plaster pool. Instead of going with the bleached white, they went with a little bit more of a natural color to it. Really love it. Self-cleaning. Over here, you can see we have a sheer descent water feature, which is really, really neat. And then coming down a little bit further, here we have our Baja shelf. So you can put a little chaise lounge, get a little water on your backside. And I love this. So right here, what they did is they took a glass mosaic tile and they made the whole apron side and the top. They expanded this area for the spillover. So just absolutely wonderful, a perfect, perfect remodel. I love what they did. And of course, we have this area up here if you wanted more seating or whatever else you wanted to do. Guys, tell me what you think. Like I told you, this is one of my absolute favorite interiors that we've ever seen, regardless of price or size. An incredible job. I tip my hat to the owner and the interior designer of this property. But guys, tell me what you think. What is your favorite part? Is this worth the value? Would you want to be out in Lake Las Vegas in this gorgeous community? Well, special thanks to Leah for allowing me to film this incredible listing. Be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, and if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in Las Vegas, make sure you holler at your boy over here. Link in the description below, leboluxury.com, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Deuces.